The Nationals last night. Michael Taylor delivered a 2-run shot in his first at bat. And Joe Ross went 7 strong innings to beat the Brewers for a second time this season. The series finale features Jordan Zimmermann and Matt Garza on a perfect afternoon at Nationals Park. Today, a chance for the Nats to win another series. They're coming off a series win at Colorado, Milwaukee, and Washington. Is it a must-have? Well, that young dude thinks so. That is the coolest guy in the ballpark today. We could only wish to be like him. Bob and FP, welcome, and the rookies did get it done last night, but it was Anthony Rendon as well, FP. We've been kind of waiting for that game from him. Last night we got it.
Well, don't forget, in between DL stints, he hit 340, and last year he was 5th in the MVP. So hitters can hit, and it's only a matter of time before Anthony Rendon figured it out. Last night, a tremendous game, a double, a home run, some nice plays at third base. But this is a guy in 2014 that scored 111 runs. He had 176 hits, 39 doubles, 21 homers, and 83 RBI, and played a Gold Glove quality third base. So trying to get back to the 2014 form last night is starting the right direction for Anthony Rendon. It was great to see him swing the bat. It looks like the rhythm in his swing is there.
I like it when a guy makes a great play, hands the ball to the pitcher. This one's for you. You're the one who finished the game. So we'll have more on the pitchers in a moment, but how about Michael A. Taylor? He's homered in 3 straight games. NL rookie ranks 4th in homers. He is 3rd in RBIs. He's got some outfield assists. He's playing great on both sides of the ball right now. And talk about sock out of the number 8 spot. The Nats have it in Michael A. To you by PNC Bank for the Achiever in You, and by the new movie No Escape, in theaters everywhere Wednesday. A lot of action on the concourse. Folks having a late lunch on a Sunday afternoon. The Brewers and the Nats. Game 3, got to get this series and then have a day off. And then some more home games coming up. Winds are just about still as they can be. 39% humidity. It's 82. Sun's out right now, but it's been kind of an off and on overcast and sunny day. Ryan Braun career against Jordan Zimmermann, 4 for 11 with a couple of RBIs, but the slugger in this series has an RBI on a sac fly, a walk, but he's 0 for 7. Nats have pitched really him, Lucroy, Lind, and Davis pretty well in these 2 games. And here's Jordan, who's only lost 1 game against Milwaukee, and that was this year. Not his fault, really.
Coming off a 15-6 win last start, however, at Colorado, went 6 innings, gave up 9 hits, 6 runs, 4 of those earned, struck out 7 Rockies, threw 100 pitches right on the nose. And his last start against Milwaukee was on June 12th. Only lasted 3 1/3, gave up 6 runs on 9 hits. If you remember that game, there was a double play that probably should have been turned behind him in the first inning. It led to a bunch of pitches, and he could never really recover from there. So the defense for the Nats behind Jordan today. Worth, Taylor Harper, the outfield. Desmond Rendon, left side. Espinosa Zimmerman, right side. And Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
Yeah, Wilson had a good night last night. Hits his first 2 times up. Single RBI double, couple of runs scored. And Wilson Ramos is 4 for his last 8. 17-year veteran behind the plate. That's Rob Drake. DJ Rayburn. There's Joe West, the crew chief at second. And Clint Fagan, third base side. Nats are 61-61, 5 back of the Mets. Scooter Gennett in this series, 2 for 6 with an RBI. Jordan Zimmerman, first pitch. It's right on the edge. We're underway at 1:36. Scooter's done some damage against the Nats this year. 7 for 20 with 3 RBIs. Brewers are 10th in the league in batting average. They're 9th in runs and in home runs. Oh, 2 pitch. And Jordan, as usual, on the attack, going right after a hitter.
It's such a strange game. Jordan Zimmerman, 2 starts ago against the Dodgers, was as good as we've seen him this year. Went 7 innings, gave up just 1 run, and got the loss in that game, 3-0. Last start, he gives up 6 runs and gets the win.
And then he gives up a hard base hit to start this one. Yeah, it's interesting, FP, at times, no matter how you pitch, the run support you get or don't get determines the W or the loss.
Right.
Inside the numbers with Jeep, and first 25 starts last year. Look at that. He was 12-4 with just over a 2.5 ERA. League's hitting about 30 points lower against him. Strikeout to walk ratio was better. So he checks in at 9-8, making start number 26. Fastball up to Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher. He's had a good series, 4 for 8. This might be a 4th place ball club. They've still got some bats. Lucroy, Braun, Lind, and Davis, a pretty good 2, 3, 4, 5 group.
We're kind of getting back to the numbers between last year and this year. Just from a percentage-wise, his fastball last year, he threw 7% more, 70% of the time. This year, just 63% of the time. Why? He's thrown more sliders. 15% in 2015 and only 8% in 2014.
Interesting, last year Jordan gave up 13 homers the entire season. This year he's given up 15. So last year at this point, probably significantly better in that department as well. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jonathan Lucroy. That's what he's done against the Nats this year. And against Jordan, 3 for 13, 2 RBIs, 2 walks career. 18 double play balls off his bat. So the runner's moving, and he hits one a mile to left center. That is well out of here. And the first 2 Milwaukee batters are aboard and coming home. So that's his 16th home run this year, given up. And for Lucroy, he hits his 5th.
Not sure if that was a hit and run by Craig Counsell or a run and hit. But either way, it was a slider that just hung right down the middle, and big league hitters don't miss those.
Any ball hit into the red seats is a big fly in this ballpark.
And for those of you that don't know, a hit and run is a hitter. You have to swing at the ball no matter where it is. Try to get it on the ground. And a run and hit is the guy's just stealing, and you have the option to swing or not. If you get a pitch you can drive, you swing.
I don't think he was trying to hit behind the runner there.
No.
Wow. Gives you an indication of the strength of Jonathan Lucroy. So last year, and that ball is bolted to right, and that's over Bryce Harper's head. That'll hit off the wall. Might be a play at second. Strong throw coming in, and he got him. Bryce Harper's 6th outfield assist of the year. And you knew when he took it on the bounce, there was a chance.
And Ryan Braun knew as soon as Bryce Harper had the ball in his hand that he had to giddy up. But a carom off the wall that was pretty firm allowed Bryce Harper to get Ryan Braun at second. Obviously a fantastic throw. We showed you a 3-quarter throw last night that was very similar, right on the money. This one meant a little bit more. Good tag by Ian Desmond, just getting Ryan Braun into second. 3 hard-hit balls to open up this game. Bryce Harper with a great play and right.
1 out, bases empty. Adam Lind is next. So at this time last year, through 25 starts, Jordan Zimmermann had given up 10 home runs. So 5 more coming in, and now another one in the first inning. Low and inside, 2-0.
Now Matt Garza's been scuffling for the Brewers, so you don't want to get him in relaxed mode out there with a nice lead before he even takes the mound. He's a guy the Nats have had a lot of success against in the past.
Yeah, Garza 0 for 3 career and 7 starts against Washington. Did pitch in a game earlier this year that Milwaukee won, but didn't figure in the decision. And no appeal needed. Rob Drake, the home plate umpire, ringing up Adam Lind for strike 2. This ball hit hard, but Danny Espinosa is there on the outfield grass. Semi-shift played by the Nats. 2 down. Chris Davis next.
Let's watch the throw again by Bryce Harper. I think the key, watch the carom. It's pretty firm, and he gets it on a hop. And maybe that's where the athletic play was made. We all know he's got a very strong, very accurate arm, so that was the impressive part. But watch him reach out right there and get the baseball and field it cleanly, and the exchange was quick and the throw right on the money.
Chris Davis this year 2 for 7 against Washington, also 2 for 7 in this series. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts career against Jordan Zimmermann, who's given up a fairly large number of first inning runs this year. So about half the time they get him. Good ones, they say you got to get them early. That's a fastball upstairs, 1-2.
Most outfielders are outfielders, as we watch the pitch again, because they couldn't play the infield, and they can hit. Bryce Harper was a catcher, Michael Taylor was a shortstop, and Jason Worth was a catcher. They're all 3 good athletes.
That's a good call on those guys. Rendon had to back up. That ball had some hair on it. Jordan Zimmermann gives up some hard hit balls, battles back now, and Milwaukee gets 2 early. 248, fifth in the league in runs, fourth in home runs. Anthony Rendon in the number 2 spot. He likes Milwaukee pitching. A lot of slugging, 6 walks. Sometimes they don't pitch to him. 5 runs in 6 games. In this series, 2 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs, and a pair of walks. There's Matt Garza, 31-year-old veteran, 81-game winner in his big league career.
Fastball, slider, curveball change is the arsenal. Occasional change. Fastball averages 93. Last start on the 17th against the Marlins. Took the 6-2 loss. Gave up 5 runs on 8 hits over 5 innings through 70 pitches in that one. 279 average against. He's given up 21 homers on the season.
Yeah, so big flies may be a part of this afternoon's ritual. We'll see. Jason Worth steps in. He's had a good series. 3 for 8. 2 knocks last night. He and Matt Garza know each other well. They've met 14 times in their careers. Jason has 6 hits with a home run. Fans clapping for an early rally here. On the outside edge. Not sure Worth liked that call. Jason has now hit safely 5 of his last 7 games. They're playing him deep.
If I'm playing behind a guy that's giving up 20 home runs, I'm playing everybody deep.
I guess you figure it's over my head, it's out of the park, right? ERA 4.98 this year. And Worth lines one into the left field corner. Chris Davis unable to cut it off. So Jason Worth is now 4 for 9 in this series. Checks in with his 8th double of the year. Good answer, at least from the first batter.
Well, a good answer last night. Talked himself back into the lineup. Had a big night here at Nats Park. Played as hard as I've seen him play in a long time. And he starts this one up with a ringing double down the left field corner. There goes the no-hitter, Beard style. And you can run on Matt Garza, by the way. He's a guy that doesn't like to throw to bases. You can bunt on him. He doesn't like the comebacker. He'll run the comebacker over and underhand it to first. He has the thing, throwing to a base. Doesn't like to pick over to first. He can. But on fielded balls, he can throw them wherever.
Here's Anthony Rendon. First pitch strike to the second straight batter. So Anthony's numbers, as we've told you about, he's 1 for 6 career against Garza with a base on balls. Nice slide to the right by Lucroy to smother that.
Last night, a little tater for the Rendon gnome. That foot's getting down a little earlier. He's getting the rhythm back to his swing. And like we said in the open, 111 runs, 176 last year. He didn't forget how. He's just been banged up.
It was a pretty easy swing to hit one 390. He'll move a runner on this ground ball to the right side. Scooter Gennett productive out. RBI man Bryce Harper coming up, and the Nats a chance to get on the board in a moment.
It's good at bat. Playing the game the right way. Moving runners. Get some high fives in the dugout. So the defense for the Brewers behind Matt Garza, Davis, Santana, Braun the outfield, Segura, Herrera left side, Jeanette Lynn right side, and Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate.
Bryce sitting on 74 RBIs. He has one in this series on his solo home run here. 6th inning Friday night. A ball that he just appeared to guide over the scoreboard in right center. 1 for 3 against Garza with a walk. He'll work from the stretch with 1 out and Worth at third. Infield shift is on. And that's fastball, low 90s outside.
He's shocked if he sees a strike here. He'll be ready for it if he does. If I'm Matt Garza with the base.
And because of the runner, Herrera has to play in the baseline about 30 feet off the third base bag. 72 on a big roundhouse curveball. Now that's your 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock right there. trying to go down that left side. Early game notes on a Sunday. Bryce has only gone 10 games all year without being on base. That's how you have a .455 on base percentage. Matt Garza doesn't like day games, or they don't like him. The Nats, when they score 6+, and they usually do that against Milwaukee, or Milwaukee does it against them, third best in baseball. These two teams have had some high-scoring games against each other over the years. 124-10. One out, 1-2. And Bryce has to fight off a fastball inside edge. Bryce feeling frisky with a 2-0 lead here. Worth can get way down the line. No third baseman anywhere near him in case there's a breaking ball in the dirt somewhere along here. And Bryce on a pitch way off the plate inside. Swing and miss, 2 outs.
That's only a handful of times this year that Bryce Harper's kind of forced the issue. And he really didn't have a good pitch to hit in that whole sequence. If you look at pitch track on the right, he'd want to drive in Jason Worth, had an opportunity and went out of his zone. You don't see him do that very often, or haven't at least this year.
Mercedes-Benz tracking the at-bat there. And a nasty 2-strike pitch. So here's Ryan Zimmerman, 4 career hits, 2 RBIs against Garza. Stays on the stretch with 2 outs. And Zimmerman hits one well out to center. Santana can only watch it. It caroms off the wall, way out there. And Zimmerman is safe with a 2-out RBI double. His 49th run batted in. That's big with 2 down.
Boy, it's a warm day here at Nats Park, and the ball really carrying. And this was a belt-tie fastball. And watching the video of Garza in his last start against the Marlins, he had a bunch of belt-tie fastballs right about there that he paid for. And he pays for the first one here today. So maybe taking a deep breath, thinking that he struck out Bryce Harper, leaves a fastball right down the middle to Ryan Zimmerman. A little trip coming around first base, and you were just wondering, is that ball going to stay up long enough to make this a 2-2 game? Nice swing by the Nats first baseman.
Here's Ian Desmond, who's driven in 45. So that's Ryan's 22nd RBI. Good play by Lucroy. Since coming off the DL. I got to double check that. I was looking at Desmond's last month. He's driven in 21. Ryan Zimmerman, though, pretty strong since coming off the disabled list. Driving the ball.
If you wait up there long enough, he'll give you something to hit.
Ryan's 15th batted in since he came back. And that's Ian Desmond taking one close in 3-0.
Sure. Absolutely. Why not?
3 answers to the question, could he be hacking on 3-0? A, B, or C, or D, all of the above?
What is the green light, Alex?
He took a strike, but that's not a pitch you want to swing at on 3-0.
Or did any count?
Yeah. Three-one pitch. Pretty good hack.
Oh, Ian Desmond wants that one back so bad. That was a fastball, 4-seam, 91 miles an hour, right down the middle.
Desmond 210 for his career against Garza with an RBI. Full count. And that foul tip will make Garza throw at least 19 pitches in the first inning. He's 81 and 88 career, 241st big league start. Best season was 15 and 10 for the Rays back in 2010. That was the second time in a row he had thrown 200 innings. Didn't do it before, hasn't done it since. Desmond takes strike 3. That was a fastball to the outer half, and the in's gone. So are the Nats. They strand a runner, but worth a double to lead off. Really cracking one down the left field side. Then Ryan Zimmerman, about as deep as you can get a double in this park, and it's 2-1. Might be a slugfest today.
The Nats Padres 7:05 start. Fans receive a Nats player pet calendar featuring photos of your favorite Nats player with their pets. Go figure. In addition, special ticket holders will receive exclusive access to pregame petting zoo from 4 to 7 p.m. where you can pet all of the players. Visit nationals.com/pet calendar for more information.
Careful, some bite. Family day here at the ballpark. Having some snacks. I see a little mustard that could end up elsewhere. And we're going to the top of the second. That was Jordan Zimmerman's 20th pitch of the day. And this is the young slugger Domingo Santana, who made his Brewers debut Friday with a laser-like home run to left field, and then jacked one off the right center field wall here last night, pinch hitting. So Jordan's teammates have let him know that they're going to keep him in the game here. Score some runs for him. We'll see if he can get the shutdown inning. 6, 7, 8, Santana, Segura, Herrera. Big cut into the 2 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park. Gorgeous day. It's like a crowd of around 25,000 by the time it fills in. We had 33 last night, 29 on Friday. Bouncing ball, Ryan Zimmerman, right side, no problem. 3 straight ground balls for Jordan since Bryce Harper threw out Ryan Braun at second base.
Time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtags Nats Couchcam or Housecam, whatever. You might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. That's brought to you by T-Mobile. All right, he's got his mask. I love it.
Very cool.
Carlos
Now
in the
that's
house.
the way to travel right there. Here's Gene Segura. Three for 8 in the series with an RBI. 5 for 13 career against Jordan Zimmerman, and look out for a line drive into the seats. A lot has been made in the division this weekend of Matt Harvey not starting at Colorado today for the Mets. It'll be Logan Verrett for New York against David Hale, who the Nats knocked around a bit the other night out there at Coors Field.
The Mets have given up 400 runs the last 2 nights.
And won
both games.
Rockies have given up 500. It's been a wacky series. And in the Central, the Pittsburgh Pirates are within 3.5 games of first place. Out of play. Off the facing of the upper deck. Off the tarp this time.
Hello, Bryce Harper. Mini Bryce. He's ready. Call him up. Lefty.
3-2. Segura has walked 10 times all year. And Jordan Zimmerman had one go right past the numbers on his back, as Gene Segura now has 4 hits in this series.
Seems like Jordan gets one of these a game. And he's been hit a few times this year on some comebackers. And this one might have been the scariest one of all. You're going to regroup for a second. Watch this. I mean, that was right up around his head. If he didn't fall off the mound a little bit toward first, that could have been ugly.
Number 8 hitter, Elian Herrera. The Brewers have 4 hits, and every one of them has been crushed. Long hold, quick runner, time given as you kind of expected there. Segura 7th in the league with 20 stolen bases. He's been caught 5 times. Wilson Ramos 30% caught stealing from behind the plate. Pitching staff helping him out this year. That's a swing and a foul straight back. First base coach Mike Guerrero with Gene Segura. He's going. Another foul.
His batting gloves are interesting, to say the least. What do we got going there? Is that a spider on him? Stand still. We're trying to look at your batting gloves.
Spiders with a Z. Is that what it says?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
0-2. Runner holding on this one, and Jordan misses up and away. Brewers, they'll do some running. 61 steals on the year. 10th in the league. The Nats have 51. And speaking of guys who can steal, or teams who can steal, Denard Span played 9 innings last night. They have a day game today. Matt Williams wasn't sure yet. He hadn't gotten word on how Denard was feeling, whether he was going to take the field today or not. Dan Uggla hit a home run last night. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner started, then stopped. Looked like a swing. He is rung up by Clint Fagan, the third base umpire. 2 outs. Jordan Zimmerman, first strikeout today.
Well, it's a big strikeout because now it's 3-2, and Segura's going to go for sure in a 3-2 count. As is, he gets a strikeout, 2 outs, and Matt Garza's up, who not known for his hitting.
Yeah, the gloves couldn't stop the bat on that one. Garza 3 for 34 this year. And now Jordan, smelling the end of an inning, gets a strike with the heater. On the inside edge. Garza is spending all of his time in the American League from 06 through 10 with the Twins and the Rays, and a little time with Texas back in 13, otherwise National League since. Swing and a miss, and the inning's over. On a pitch way outside. 1 out single doesn't hurt. Now the Nats, Espinosa, Ramos, Taylor coming up.
After Steven Strasburg's last start, he said that we want to be a family through the good and the bad, referring to this Nationals ball club. And that word family is one that you've heard tossed around in the dugout, in the clubhouse, among players and coaches a lot over the last handful of days. Coaches have been saying to players that that's something they want them to focus on, is being a family and focusing on that camaraderie and sticking together. Matt Williams said it's important that guys feel that way, but it's one thing to say it and it's another thing to practice it. But he says when you can come together like that and act like a family, special things can happen.
Well, Dan, glad you're a part of ours. And when you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. That's Dan Coco with our Coons.com sideline report.
Yeah, we've acted like a family for 5 years now, right, Bob?
Yeah, a few spats here and there.
Older uncle.
What, you're my nephew now?
Uncle Bob.
I'll be Uncle Bob.
And our little brother, Matt.
Can I be rich? Can I be rich, Uncle Bob?
Bobby Brady down there in the pit.
Yeah. Most of our family, ladies and gentlemen, are the ones you never get to see or hear because our Masson family is strong and they make us better at what we do. Led by our producer, Chip Winfield.
That whole family deal in the clubhouse just got to happen. You can't force that.
Yeah.
You either have that or you don't.
Does the one-loss record have anything to do with that?
Yeah, that's the age-old question, chicken and the egg, right?
What comes first, right?
I don't know. I just think Mike Rizzo's done a nice job of putting good people together, but you still have to have talented good people, and how they mesh is just a crapshoot every year. I don't know. It depends. It depends on the skipper. It depends on the coaching staff. It depends on the players themselves. Chemistry. I just think any work environment, if you're happy, you are more productive. But how that happens, you can't force.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey, we're going to be a family. That thing's got to happen on its own.
Danny Espinosa, 0-2 here. A couple of hits in the series. And that's a nasty Breaking ball that just dropped straight down at 72. It had to. And Matt Garza has 3 strikeouts of his first 4 outs today.
You know, teams that are close do usually win together because everybody's skipping to the clubhouse and happy every day. But I think it's the off-the-field stuff that when you're home and the families do things together, and on days off you all barbecue together and hang out, and on the road when it's just the guys together, you all hang out after the game and talk about the game. And the teams that have more guys that hang out together are usually the closer-knit teams and usually the families. And I've been on teams where it's 25 guys and 25 cabs. And on off days, it's just you and your wife and kids. And also, there's teams that on off days, it's, you know, 15, 17 families together in a barbecue doing something. And I think all of that together, and it's a big recipe for a family atmosphere. And then the organization itself, how do they treat the wives and kids and the families? Are they a part of everything? And when you put all that together and stick it all in a pot and add some winning to it, that's when you get a great clubhouse. That's when you get a family atmosphere. And you can't wait to get to the ballpark to see your teammates and spend time with them. There's also teams that I'm getting there at 4 o'clock because I can't stand the guys I'm playing with, and I don't want to get to the ballpark. So all that together is how you get a family atmosphere.
1 ball, 1 strike to Ramos. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball way outside. Now the Brewers have a losing record, but they're doing something very cool tomorrow. They have a day off in Cleveland. They're loading up a bus, and a bunch of those guys are going to Canton to the Pro Football Hall of Fame to spend a day together. Well, not a voluntary thing, but I would imagine a lot of the guys will do that.
I'll just make them want to tackle each other in the clubhouse the next day.
But our family, our Masson family, folks, they were here at 8:30 this morning. That's 5 hours before the game. And this is the 3rd game of a series. On the first game or so, they'll be here 7, 8 hours before a game. And we have a hard-working part of our family you never get to see. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Bottom of the second, Wilson Ramos, 3 for 11 career, 4 RBIs against Matt Garza. Target way out there. Ramos able to get to it to stay alive. I have noticed over the last couple of years the Nationals have improved their facility downstairs near the clubhouse for the families. Sean Bertani of our front office has done a great job of keeping the families together and close and on the same page down there. Play area for the kids. Ramos sits into right field. Got a good piece of that one. And it's over the glove of Scooter Gennett. The Nats have their 3rd base in. That's a good at bat. Wilson Ramos is 5 for his last 9. How about Taylor last night?
Well, he's homer in 3 straight games, and this was the one last night to right center field. He had that grande bomb in Coors Field, 493, then one to left center the night before, and that one to right center last night. DC Lexus dealers donate $250 to Children's National Health System for every one of those you just saw all year long.
Yeah, Lexus, like Taylor right now, the pursuit of perfection. 3 Nationals, as we told you last night, have homered in 4 consecutive games in the history of this team. Ryan Zimmerman back in 09 in August. Michael Morse in 11 in May. And Adam LaRoche 2012 in September. Rookie ranks. He's all over the stat sheet right now. First in steals. RBIs way up there. At bats per home runs. And then the Taters, as FP's been calling him lately, the slugging percentage just under 400. Two-0 pitch. Got a breaking ball out ahead of it. Herrera, Gennett, and the Brewers go around the horn to turn a 5-4-3 double play. And that makes our pitcher lead off the 3rd inning. Big 2 outs for them. 2-1 game. Summer event. Bryce Harper and the guys went crazy in Kansas City. A 21-run slugfest. Nats would win at 11-10 at Kauffman Stadium. They were down 6-0 after 2 innings. 7 runs in the 4th, largest 4th inning on record. And it was kind of interesting because it was August 23rd, and the Nationals got back to the 500 mark with that win on their way to 86 wins 2 years ago. So Bryce and Jason in the middle of all that. Tanner Roark, a rookie, was the starter in that game. Now we're going to the top of the 3rd inning. Scooter Gennett, Jonathan Lucroy, Ryan Braun, they all hit safely in the 1st inning.
Might have been my favorite road trip of the year 2 years ago.
You know, in the Nats had just come from Chicago, right? Won 3 out of 4 there, I believe.
But just the people in Kansas City and how they treated us, it was awesome.
Yeah. I have some friends in the Kansas City front office, and Dayton Moore, who's the GM there, he has something he passes down to everybody in the organization. It may even go higher than him. It's a ground ball to the right side. Espinoza handles that. They want to treat every player in the organization, every player down to A ball and rookie ball, the way you would want your own son to be treated by the people for whom he works. And I think that's a great philosophy.
So they yell and scream at him and ground him every once in a while?
Well, some maybe they have to.
Take the car away.
But, you know, and remember, what, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, everybody talking about all this young talent the Royals had on the way. And it all came to fruition for them last October. No balls, 1 strike to Jonathan Lucroy, who hit one about .410 to the red seats in left center. First time up. Center cut. It went a long way. Two and one on a fastball way inside. It's kind of interesting, I think, that this year 3 of the so-called small market or middle market teams have the most wins in baseball. St. Louis, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. Teams that years ago folks said at least those last 2 couldn't compete. Two with 1 out.
Well, the first inning home run by Jonathan Lucroy was a slider that just really didn't get on top of, kind of got around it and left it out over the plate. Hit speed 100. And that was a much better one right there.
That's a 2-strike slider right there. Jordan Zimmerman, 3rd K. Nissan will track it.
Well, you know, a slider's a field pitch. And when you come out of that bullpen, it might take you a minute to get the feel of it on a given day based on, you know, how you're feeling, weather conditions, grip on the ball. Jordan, talking about his last start in Colorado, really didn't have a good feel for that stuff because of how dry the ball was. Didn't have a good grip on it. And if you remember his roughest out of the year at Boston, it was a day game, very windy, very dry, and he said in that game he had trouble feeling the baseball.
Ryan Braun single off the right field wall. First time up. Bryce Harper took the carom on 1 hop and lasered a throw to second base to get him out. In on the hands of the slugger right there.
Bryce Harper played this carom perfectly. And the throw is just kind of the aftermath of the glove play. Not a lot of people can make that adjustment on the fly with the way that ball came off the wall to his left as he was facing the wall and glove that ball and stand up and make that throw.
So that's what, 12 assists between the center fielder and the right fielder now? 6 each. Close, and it's ball 3. That was Ryan Braun's first hit of this series. Three-two now with 2 outs.
You remember last night we had that shot of Ryan Braun in the dugout with the raised eyebrows once he scored on Bryce Harper's throw to third base from the warning track. And then he tested him in the first and found out firsthand. And Ryan Braun's a guy that can throw too.
Yeah. Brewers moved him to right field last year. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jammed him, and it's out of play. July 22nd of 2013, suspended for the rest of the season. Then he came back last year and had some injury issues early with a right oblique. That'll affect your swing.
Nasty.
I tell you, he's hot. The Nats have really pitched him well in this series. That was unhittable on the slider. Jordan Zimmerman, bottom of the 3rd. 5 hits on the year, 3 RBIs. Garza got the double play ball last inning to end it at the 8-hitter. And there for a strike.
That's a pitch Jordan Zimmerman will take. That's,
better believe it.
He called a couple of those on Ian Desmond that Ian Desmond's probably still thinking about. Good take right there, just missed.
1-2. Can't reach that when it's in the dirt, and the tag by Lucroy. 4 Ks for Matt Garza.
American Standard, who's hot, who's not? Thinking Jason Worth might be in this one. Yeah, 347, 4 runs, 6 games as a leadoff hitter. So Larry leadoff getting the job done. Matt Garza, 5 games against the NL East, no bueno.
So those numbers include today. We invite you to celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star Sales Event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. Fans howling at the moon as Worth doubled hard first time up. Or they're howling at the sun. He really hit that ball. Jason starting to square things up here in that batter's box. Not biting on that. 1-1.
Are they howling in the middle of every pitch? I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
See if we can hear it.
Well, they'd like to howl him down to first base or beyond. There they are. 3-1. Strike call. Important for the Nats to get the offense cooking again because Jordan Zimmerman's retired 8 of the last 9. And Worth is going to be called out on strikes. Garza is living on the outside edge with the fastball and the slider. Mercedes-Benz will track it. Pretty good pitch.
Pretty good pitch. And Matt Garza and Jonathan Lucroy figuring out Rob Drake's strike zone right now and trying to take advantage of it.
.74 on the front door to Anthony Rendon. Bounced out to second his first time up.
Productive out after the Jason Worth leadoff double, moved him to third base, getting the job done.
Hot shot the other way. Outfield, as usual, shades Rendon the other way. And a 1-2 pitch. Too far out there. It counts even.
You know, the pitch that Garza is throwing to Ian Desmond, Jason Worth down the way, it's a straight fastball. It's not like it's got some run back to it. And what's that mean? Well, as a hitter, you know, the one that starts off the plate and comes back, you have a tendency to give up on. But this one's straight. So it's just a matter of thinking out there and going out there and getting it. And coming in right here with 2 strikes.
He does. In there too far. Counts full. This is a big pitch right now. It's a 2-1 game, 3rd inning. Early, but Bryce Harper on deck. Last night, Anthony Rendon walked his first 2 times up with Harper waiting. And he'll take that one inside. No swing on the appeal. Great at bat by Anthony Rendon. Garza's first walk.
And if Garza can't command the inner half to right-handers, there's nothing to keep them from diving out there and driving that outside fastball to right center. All right.
Are you sitting in fair territory? We hope you are.
Where are you at? Okay. Are you behind the first base
scoreboard.
dugout?
Okay. Thanks for the perspective,
Yeah.
Chuck Whitlock.
There we go.
Our director. Garza's got Bryce in swing mode. In the series, 2 for 8. Homer, RBI, base on balls. Bryce will guide a base hit down the left field line. Scampering to third, Rendon. Ball picked up by Chris Davis, and it's second and third. And Bryce says, I've got your shift. Extra base hit the other way, and that's Bryce's 60th extra base hit of the year on his 28th double.
Well, it all depended on how Chris Davis played this down left field corner, whether Bob Henley was going to send Anthony Rendon, but you see that ball just over the bag. Good call by Clint Fagan. Let's watch Anthony Rendon run a little bit. You know, as a hitter, sometimes, for whatever reason, you get into swing mode on a given day. And you're standing up there going, you know, dang it, why am I swinging so much? And right now, Bryce Harper's in that mode, but it paid off with a 2-out double. Now, Ryan Zimmerman trying to pick everybody up.
Like he did the first time. 2 outs, runner at second when he made it a 2-1 game in the first with a shot off the left center field wall about 400 feet away. His next RBI will be number 50. That's how productive he's been despite all the time missed. That's way outside. In fact, it bounces. And Matt Lucroy goes backstop and keeps it in front.
Well, I mean, you got a guy that hit a double off the top of the wall in left center and a guy that struck out his first time up in Ian Desmond. Although Ian Desmond's swinging the bat very well of late, I don't know how interested Matt Garza is in Ryan Zimmerman with first base open and 2 outs. Let's see.
Goes off speed and misses, up and in. And as FP's often noted, Ryan not the most eager 3-0 hitter there is.
This would be a great time to do it.
3 career RBIs, including today against the right-hander.
Trio curveball.
Yeah, didn't get a heater. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's where Ian Desmond needs to show some of the discipline we've seen lately from him.
Well, I mean, he knew that about halfway through that at-bat, what we knew, that Matt Garza was pitching around him. And as a hitter, you take an intentional walk personally when they try to get to you. But when you see a 3-0 curveball to the guy in front of you, that might as well have been an intentional walk. So Ian Desmond probably taking this one a little bit personally right now and wants to do some 2-out damage.
The problem with the pitch around, it might take a while for the pitcher to refine the zone.
Likes to hit with the bases loaded.
81 on the off speed. Counts even 1-1. This all started with 2 outs on the Rendon walk. Harper sent him to third on Bryce's double. And then Ryan Zimmerman 4-pitch pass.
So he got him last time looking on a fastball down and away. Strike 2 and strike 3. I guess the best way to say it is pitcher strikes. See if he goes back to the well here in a 2-strike count.
Fastball up. Ball hits the plate. This will be close. In fact, Garza can't pick it up. And the Nats have tied the game on a bouncer off the plate that turned into a pop-up. It's 2-2.
I told you he can't feel his position. He can't throw to a base. So as soon as you see this ball going to Garza, you knew that Ian Desmond had a really good opportunity to get to first base. And watch Garza after he fields it. It just gets real weird. He went to flip it with his glove and his hand both. Looks like his feet get tangled up, but watch this. Look at the flip. Okay, the ball's not there, but then he still tries to flip nothing. Big break for the Nats.
He wasn't looking at the ball, was he?
No, big break for the Nats with 2 outs. See if they can capitalize big time.
Crowd buzzing about a crazy 2-out hit. Here's Espinosa. And Garza throws that one nearly beyond the reach of his catcher.
If Danny gets an opportunity today off Garza, he'll bunt. Especially after seeing that. And the scouting report says, you know, he really struggles throwing to a base. Right now, not the time. He's thinking about a gapper.
Espinosa, right center. This ball is off the top of the scoreboard. Harper scores. Zimmerman scores. Here comes Desmond. Danny Espinosa clears the bases. 5-2 Washington.
Matt Williams wants to take a look at it and see if it went out. He's on the top step with his hand up. I don't think he's going to ask him to look at it. He just said we're good. And look at that curveball hanging right up there for Danny Espinosa. And he thought he had himself a grand slam, and it just misses at the top of the fence off the green parts. And Danny Espinosa lighting up this crowd here at Nats Park with a 2-out double, and his incredible season continues.
41 RBIs now for Danny. Here's Wilson Ramos. This all started with a 2-out walk to Anthony Rendon with Bryce Harper on deck.
That's some 2-out lightning, boy.
Way outside, 2-0.
And it continued with a guy that really should have made a play on Ian Desmond. It would have been close for most pitchers. But Ian Desmond hustling down the line. Anthony Rendon with a big walk. Line's moving, folks, here in the third.
32 pitches, first 2 innings, and here comes number 32 of this inning. Up and away to Wilson Ramos and Matt Garza all over the place right now. Ramos, after a long at bat, base hit to right last time up. And he'll take the base on balls, bringing up Michael A. Taylor. So 3 walks in the inning. Rick Kranitz, the Milwaukee pitching coach, to the mound. Michael A. will be the 9th Nat to bat in the inning.
They faced Matt Garza on June 11th at Miller Park. He gave up 5 runs on 7 hits in 6 innings. The Nats with 5 here already. Check out this pitch to Danny Espinosa, the location of the curveball. Right down the middle. 73 miles an hour. And watch Espinosa with the bat flip. He thinks he's got a grand slam, and he missed it by, I don't know, what, 5 inches? Top of the wall. 97 miles an hour on the hit speed.
Yeah.
Big swing of the bat.
Hit that ball about 380 or so. Michael A. Taylor takes a strike on the outside edge. Hit the ball sharply first time up, bounced into a 5-4-3 double play. So the Nats will bat around in this inning. Pitch number 35 of this frame coming, and that's way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael's had a good series. 3 for 8, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and a walk. Big gap left center. Fastball in there, low in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lucroy sets up way outside. Michael A. strikes out on the slider. But a big inning for the Nats. They score 4 runs on 3 hits and 3 walks and now lead 5-2. It's all Nats suddenly. This is our DynCorp International Troop Recognition. And it's brought to you by DynCorp International as we salute our troops. We serve today for a better tomorrow.
Well, that was about the best in-between inning break we've ever had up here.
We got visited by about 20 kids with the TAPS program. Tragedy. I had it a moment ago. We'll figure it out. Tragedy Assistant Program, that's what it is.
Right.
TAPS. Their families have been affected by military service, and they're a fantastic group of kids. They just came in and kind of streamed into the booth as that inning ended.
That was awesome.
Got to spend a couple of minutes with them in between innings, and we love having them here. That's Adam Lind in the top of the 4th inning with a base hit. So here's where Jordan Zimmermann really needs to take a stranglehold on the ball game and enjoy this 5-2 lead.
One of the kids came right up to the counter here and looked out and looked at me and said, "You are so lucky." I said, "I am, buddy. You're right."
Well, Jordan's got to get it done because I just promised 20 kids the Nats are going to win this game. Here's Chris Davis, who hit a ground ball over to third. First time up. Swing and a miss, and he was trying to make it 5-4. Aired it out. He leads the National League in August RBIs with 21. 2 of them in this series. So Jordan's next pitch will be his 60th. Through 3 innings, Matt Garza already at 63. Over but low on 0-2. Pardon me, 69 pitches for Matt Garza. Slider away, and the ball fouled over off the dugout. Ryan Zimmerman, fans on the kick save. Well, Matt Williams, his team has come from behind. 2 in the first. Kind of a kick to the gut. A run in the bottom of that inning, then a force spot in the third. 1-2 pitch. Chris Davis does not get cheated. Maybe one of those late bloomers. He made an opening day roster for the first time in the big leagues 2 years ago at the age of 25. Hit .279. 22 homers, 69 RBIs last year. Looks like Matt wants to field a double play ground ball and relay it over to Danny Espinosa. 1-2 pitch. Fastball outside. Ramos tried to pull it back in. Isan tracks the entire at bat. Trying to keep it away from the pull side against a guy with a lot of power. And he struck him out with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And Jordan Zimmermann has struck out all 5 of his batters in the last 2.5 innings.
Well, I think it was a slider.
That's a hard slider, 90, huh?
Yeah, that was a slider, 3-2. Right.
Well, he struck me out, so that's number 6.
And you see the subtle break at the end, and Chris Davis's head was nowhere near. He was trying to hit that one on the concourse like he did last night.
And I remember back in the day, FP, when guys started throwing sliders, that's what it would do normally. It looked like a fastball all the way there. Last second, that little break. Seems to me like guys throw bigger sliders now than they used to. That was tough. That was tough for a hitter. There's Santana in the air to right. Long way for Espinosa. Bryce Harper behind him, and Danny catches it while it's a fair ball. 2 outs.
All right, 80s night at the ballpark, Saturday, August 29th. It's going to be a big party at the Yard. I can't wait for this one. 7:05 start. You get a Rubik's Cube, which you probably won't be able to solve. I still haven't. And get exclusive access to see the 80s tribute band, the Leg Warmers. Pre-game performance at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk. Go to nationals.com/80s night for a real fun night at the Yard.
Somebody please tell me the mid-80s weren't 30 years ago. Wow.
They weren't 30 years ago.
I don't believe you.
Well, you told me to tell you.
It's just hard to believe. Segura, base hit up the middle, first time up. Well, Jordan's had a couple of innings today that have started off with base runners, and then he's been able to shut the door. He's retired 10 of the last 12 Brewers, and he knocks that one down. He's got a chance to throw him out, and he throws the ball away to the tarp. Runners will end up at second and third. Jordan just couldn't get squared up for that throw. They're going to give a hit on the hard hit ball, then an E1 to move the runners.
Well, you knew he had to hurry right here because Segura's got speed, but what he couldn't see is Segura didn't get out of the box real quick, and then when Jordan's head was turning right here, he didn't pick up his target. It's hard to do when you're spinning around and try to find Ryan Zimmerman, and he knew as soon as he let it go that it was way off target. Now he's got to get a big out in Herrera. Steve McCatty just going to give him a breather right here. That's all this is about after that play. Regroup, catch your breath. And do you want to pitch to Matt Garza?
Yeah, first base open.
I don't see anybody up in the Brewers bullpen that would give me any reason to think they could pinch hit for Garza right here.
And that's interesting. He's given up 5 runs on 6 hits in 3 innings. And nobody throwing. A couple of guys moving around.
Yeah, they're not going to pitch to Herrera at all.
And I think, you know, FPU and I talk about this a lot. Why go up there and nibble? Just put the guy on and then do your job against the pitcher. You can get yourself into some bad trouble trying to not give anything good to hit to a number 8 batter. This is about the only way Jordan Zimmerman ever walks anybody. Kind of unusual, really, to me, because the Brewers only used 2 guys out of their bullpen last night. And only 3 the night before, so it doesn't appear that their bullpen is gassed or nobody can throw, but Craig Counsell, 5-2 ball game. Feels like he's got some bullets left, and he'll let him go ahead and hit here. He'll chop it foul. No match for that mid-90s. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's getting your job done. So the error prolongs the inning, but then Jordan shuts the door, and the Nats still lead 5-2.
Cox. 5-2 Nats as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Danny Espinosa's been doing it all year with the glove, with the bat, on the bases. In there again today because of the UNL Escobar neck injury. He gets a hanging curveball from Matt Garza and misses a grand slam by a few inches. The clutch 2-out double clears the bases and makes it 5-2. And if Danny Espinosa doesn't fire you up, I can't help you.
Say he has really been a revelation this year. 3 hits in the series. Jordan Zimmerman leads off bottom of the fourth. Matt Garza about to throw pitch number 70. Struck out Jordan swinging on a pitch in the dirt. First time. Having kind of an odd day. That ball hit hard. Elian Herrera to his right for the out. 6 strikeouts out of 10 outs. 3 walks.
Hey, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. You know, when you see that whole thing shaping up for the Brewers last inning, in Segura reach, you know, I've seen veteran managers right then and there, when Segura reaches first base, sprint for the phone, tell the bullpen to get up, because you know, or at least have an inclination that you might walk the 8th hitter to get to the pitcher.
Right.
And now when you're down by 3 runs, even though it's a 4th inning, you have a chance, or at least the option, by having somebody up in the bullpen to pinch hit for your pitcher. And maybe that was going real fast for Craig Counsell right there, or maybe his bullpen is just depleted and he has to get some innings out of Garza. He knows better than I do for sure.
Yeah, he does. Nobody knows their personnel in situations like managers.
Right.
I think that.
But I'm sure there's some Brewer fans at home right now kind of scratching their head wondering why they didn't have somebody up real quick and try to jump back into the game with somebody off their bench.
Yeah, that's a good point. 0-2. Now, if you're 5 games out of first and not 25, probably played that situation differently.
Yeah, it is only the 3rd inning, and yeah, now you're really getting deep into your bullpen, so that's probably what he was thinking.
Worth 1 for 2 with a double. Swing and a miss. Garza gets it by him. So now out of 11 outs, Matt Garza 7 strikeouts.
3-game series against the Padres, August 25th, 7:05 start. That's a Tuesday. First 25,000 fans receive an Anthony Rendon Garden Gnome. Check out hashtag RendGnome on the Nationals Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. You can follow his adventures. Visit Nationals.com to purchase your tickets right now. We showed it on TV last night. It's really cool. It says no place like home. It's got a sign right in front of Anthony. And he's been good luck so far on my desk.
Hide him well until Tuesday when this one's over. Strikes all day on the outside edge there from the umpire, Rob Drake. Rendon's walk started a 4-run rally. 2 outs, nobody on last inning. So here he is again. 2 outs, nobody on. Way inside. Padres are in Pittsburgh for the Sunday night game. They'll be here Tuesday. James Shields and Steven Strasburg. Pretty good game 2 matchup too. Tyson Ross, Max Scherzer.
I think the Padres are playing the Cards, and they beat them bad last night, 8-0.
I'm sorry, SF at Pittsburgh. Pardon me. Yeah, San Diego's home. Yeah, and they're trying to sweep, I think, tonight. Uncle Bob having trouble with SD and SF on the distance scoreboard there.
It's all right. It's way out there.
3-2 pitch. Good at bat. Is something about to happen again? Bryce Harper coming in, a 2-out walk. And that's Matt Garza's 4th walk of the last 10 hitters.
Well, that's how it's. I mean, this ended exactly like the 3rd. 2-out walk to Anthony Rendon, and then the floodgates open. So we'll see. And now look where Herrera's playing Bryce Harper this time around. He was playing him at short last time. Now he's. Funny how that shift will change. Bryce actually hits more balls to shortstop than where Herrera's standing.
And he just knocks one over there. It's like Bryce is putting the ball anywhere he wants. He's going to hustle for another double. 61 extra base hits. And this is looking eerily like the 3rd inning.
You know, Bryce Harper was just trying to hit that ball to shortstop. I promise you, if you run down there and ask him right now, he had the whole left side of the infield. Look at that swing. He's trying to serve it to shortstop like Ichiro. He ends up looping it over 3rd for a second double. But if we can show you the swing again, he's seeing the whole left side. He just tried to roll his wrists over and hit a routine ground ball to short. Kind of got it off the end of the bat and it went to left field. With the shift by the Brewers, I mean, it's just refreshing to see a hitter try to beat a shift. We see so many guys just beat their heads into the ground. There's 8 guys on the right side. They still hit the right side. Right there, Harper, even though he didn't do exactly what he wanted to. A 2-out double.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman, who's had a perfect day. RBI double, 2 outs. 1st inning. Last inning, 2-out walk to load him up for Desmond and Espinoza. Bryce Harper didn't dip below 330 for long. 2 for 3 today.
It's just not that easy to hit a ball to short, but that was the intent. You could tell by the way he just kind of served his swing that way. Smart.
One ball, 1 strike.
So according to last inning, this should be a walk.
2-1.
Jason Worth struck out. Anthony Rendon walked. Bryce Harper doubled. That was the 3rd. And this is the 4th. Same thing.
Target in. Ball 3.
And if Desi bounces one off the plate after this, I've seen it all.
We're going to call Bill Murray. Oh my, the bases are loaded.
Okay, all right.
Walk, double walk for the 2nd straight inning.
Oh, it's Groundhog Day. Where's Sonny and Cher? Okay, chopper off the plate coming, Bob. Here we go.
Ian Desmond, last time up, collected his 46th RBI. Out to center. Fly ball right to Domingo Santana. Well, it was good for 3 hitters, but it didn't quite go any farther. Nevertheless, Nats 3-run lead into the 5th. weights in the heads today or what. But Calvin down first. Teddy goes down. 2 or 3 others. And evidently the boiler with some counterweight this afternoon as Big Bill loses it after he wins. The Geico President's Race. Not sure what all the tumbling and falling was all about.
Well, maybe they all had a long Saturday night, Bob.
I think that's possible.
Yeah. Maybe a little President's Fiesta together.
1 ball, 1 strike. Scooter Gennett, top of the 5th inning. The second time through the order has been a problem for Jordan this year, but not today. We start the 3rd time around here with Gennett, who has a base hit and a ground ball. So first 3 hitters of the game, base hits, 3 hits since. Almost the same spot where the foul ball lands again. Scooter Gennett from Cincinnati originally. High school ball in Florida. Good athlete. And a 300 hitter in parts of his first 2 years with Milwaukee. Kind of a versatile guy. He can move around, play different positions. Three, 2 pitch. Hard guy to get the ball by. And he gets under that one, high in the air to right. Bryce Harper checking his surroundings, and all he can do is watch it sail above the scoreboard. Scooter Gennett, 6th of the year, and it's a 2-run game.
Bell time is right where Wilson Ramos was setting up. They wanted the fastball in, maybe just a hair higher than he wanted it, but it looked like Gennett looking in there all the way. And the ball's flying here at Nats Park today. I wasn't sure that ball was going to get out. And now a 2-run game.
Yeah, it looked like Bryce was just checking the track and checking the wall to set up for a catch. And that thing just kept going. Here's Lucroy, who hit a long home run to left center first inning. Jordan Zimmermann now 17 home runs given up this year. Lucroy out to right center, and Michael A. Taylor just cruising over to it. Ryan Braun and Adam Lind, the next 2 Milwaukee hitters.
Tex Worth to 29292 for a chance to win a Game 4 Jason Worth bobblehead. I've seen it. Commemorate a great moment in Nats history with this 10-year anniversary souvenir. Available for the first 25,000 fans at Nats Park on August 30th. Visit masson.me/walkoffworth.
Ball pulled to shortstop. First pitch, Ryan Braun. Ian Desmond right on target. Bases empty, 2 outs, and we check in with Dan.
Bob, the Nationals this year have the best first pitch strike percentage of any team in the majors. That's boosted by Jordan Zimmermann and Max Scherzer, who are both in the top 6 among starters. And here's why that's important. Opposing batters are hitting 229 off Nats pitchers after an 0-1 count, 273 off them after a 1-0 count. You want to have that count leverage, and the Nationals have had a lot more success when they have that count leverage when they're up in the count than behind. That goes for all teams, but especially the Nats.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they've had some of the fewest walks in baseball as a staff the last couple of years. That's on the edge. Another first pitch strike. Adam Lynn this time. Base hit up the middle. He's 1 for 2.
I think the 1-0 count is the best one to hit him personally. And the 1-1 pitch is the biggest pitch of every at bat because now you go to 1-2 or 2-1.
It's a good percentage for the home guy.
This is the big pitch. If you now it's 1-2 and you're defensive as a hitter. If it's 2-1, your all systems go firing on a fastball. So the 1-1 pitch to me the biggest pitch of every at bat, and the 1-0 count, I think the best count to hit in. Everyone's telling me on Twitter that the Presidents were doing face plants like Jason Wurst slided to home last night. And that has to be what it was, right?
Had to be. Had to be. Court of the night, though, when Worth said after the game he doesn't know what home plate's the dirt around there's made out of, but it sure doesn't taste good. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Staying loose.
Wow, now we got the Presidents taunting our own players.
Not taunting, it's like a tribute to him. He's playing hard.
2-2 pitch. Danny Espinosa. So the home run, and then Jordan settles down again. Danny will lead up. He's already driven in 3 today.
Cuttery, home of the smile back guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. Go around the ballpark. Gio, I mean, that's a given. He's always smiling. He smiles on Saturdays, too.
But why smiles on Daisy's pitching.
Why wouldn't you smile if you're at the yard?
Bottom of the 5th, Danny Espinosa. 1 for 2, 3-run double. Counts even. Matt Garza approaching 90 pitches now. Brewers got to run back on the Jeanette home run. Long way to go in this game. It's been a grinder for over an hour and a half now. That's on the edge. Last time out, just 72 pitches in 5 innings at Miami, or at home against Miami. 5 runs, 8 hits in 5 innings. That 107 3 starts ago against the Cubs in a 4-2 loss. Espinosa waits for that off-speed pitch. Hits it out to left center, but Santana's under it. Couple of steps in front of the track for the first out. Next 5, 3 of those against the San Diego Padres. Tuesday night, it'll be James Shields against Steven Strasburg, and then Tyson Ross. Max Scherzer scheduled for Wednesday. So 3 with the Padres. The Marlins will be here next weekend. Up and away, Wilson Ramos, a good day. Base hit the other way, and a base on balls. Last inning after the Espinosa double. Ramos gets a big piece of that high fly ball. See you later. Way out there to right center. And Wilson Ramos finally hits his 10th of the year. The Nats have their 3-run lead back.
Can you milk a buffalo? Because I think that's what Casey Jansen was doing out there in the bullpen. I'll tell you what, just the way he's set up on his legs, he looks so much more balanced and hitterish at the plate. Because, you know, look, he's got tree trunks for legs, and that's where he's getting his pop lately. He's going back to his old stance, or he's gone back to it probably the last couple of weeks. And that's a great idea against Matt Garza, by the way.
Ball 1 outside. Wilson 10th of the year, 56th of his career.
But you could almost feel that one coming just by how he's set up lately. He's been going to right field, starting to heat up. Just make sure he fields it. And that's the last thing you usually want to do as a bunter. You want to keep it away from the pitcher, but if Garza fields it, you have a chance.
Yeah. Well, Taylor has shown bunt twice, but he gets the count to 2-0. Jordan Zimmerman waiting. That's ball 3 inside. Now, that's a big run for the Nats on a big, big fly. That thing was way up there. On the edge.
I like the red shades Taylor's got on today.
Well, a walk in front of the pitcher, not a bad thing either. Jordan Zimmerman a chance to move another runner into scoring position, get himself off the field, and then give Jason Worth a shot to put the Nats up by 4. Matt Garza has walked 6 batters.
We'll check out the home run again and see how he's on his legs, letting the ball get deep and thinking about going the other way. And he's watched a few this year that have barely gotten out. And he could watch this one. That ball was crushed. Loudest sound in the ballpark all day.
Did that hit off the facing of the upper deck? Zimmerman, and that's foul. Scooped up by Lucroy. I thought I had a chance to get into the upper deck. It was close. 104 mph on a Sunday afternoon drive.
If the Nats get to the playoffs, will you shave something on the side of your head like that?
Like what?
Like Wilson's got going on.
I don't know. I'll tell you October 4th.
Okay, that's fair.
I might let somebody else do it, though, to me. I want to chance that.
Well, no. Yeah, that's the whole point. I just want to see it. I want to see some lines.
I don't know. Uncle Bob needs to talk to Aunt Debbie about that. 0-1 to Zimmerman. Lays down a really good bunt. Garza wants no part of it. He was very happy to let his third baseman Herrera cut in front of him.
Well, that was by design. Nice bunt by Jordan Zimmerman. But you saw how aggressive Herrera was right there on the bunt back to the pitcher. That was so that Garza, who has real difficulties throwing to a base, doesn't have to. Look at, oh no, no. And on the first base side of the mound, he makes the play.
Corey Knebel. Craig Counsell to the mound. We saw Knebel in the 6th inning Friday night. So that's it for Matt Garza. He's already given up 6 runs on 8 hits. Worth will face a right-hander, and this call to the bullpen is packaged by the UPS store. Your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Let us handle your mailbox service needs. We love logistics. And a 6-3 score.
In town, 7:05 start. Dollar Ice Cream presented by Good Humor. Dollar Ice Cream novelties will be available for purchase at selected dog stands until the start of the 6th inning while supplies last. Get your game tickets now at Nationals.com.
Thank you, Max. And thank you, Wilson Ramos, for a 6-3 lead here. Matt Garza done after 4 2/3, 8 hits, 6 walks. He struck out 7, double play, a home run. 101 pitches, 55 strikes. So 101 pitches to get 14 outs. It'll be Worth against the right-hander Corey Knebel.
Fastball, curveball, occasional change, fastball 95.
Came in the 6th inning and struck out Ian Desmond swinging. This time it's Jason Worth against him. And Worth facing him for the first time. Hasn't inherited a lot of runners, but he's been perfect. Just 23 years of age. He was obtained in a deal in January that sent Giovanni Gallardo to Texas. That was a 3-for-1. Brewers got Knebel and 2 others. Worth today a double, a run, 2 strikeouts, 1 for 3.
So the Presidents were falling down today because of this pretty awesome slide by Jason Worth last night. See his face kind of hitting the dirt there at the end. And like I said a million times, playing as hard as I've seen him play as a National last night.
He was inspired.
And I thought he was close to being safe on that.
The Nats have been given 7 walks today. And it's only the 5th inning. That'll get Anthony Rendon to the plate. He's walked 2 of those 7 times. Oh for 1. A run scored. So Anthony has been on base 6 times in this series. Low and away, and Lucroy is out for a visit. '97. Impressive. Inner half. Two more runners aboard. Nats have scored 6. They've stranded 6. So they've been threatening to blow this thing open all day. Anthony a little late for that one. It's out of play over on the first base side.
Big at bat right here. Nets trying to tack on some runs.
Rendon takes one up and away. Lucroy held it there for a while.
Well, Lucroy wanted it, and the reason he wanted it is because Rob Drake has been calling it all day out there.
Pitch number 4, a little bit away on the Mercedes-Benz pitch track. Rendon gets a strike, and there it goes. See you later. Over the bullpen, and now he's homered 2 games in a row. The Nets are pulling out the lumber, and it's 9-3. And by the way, both base runners who score ahead of him, they were walked.
Telling you, that guy gets hot. Look out, everybody.
He may be already.
I shouldn't even say gets hot, just plays the way he can. Talked about it in the open. 111 runs last year, 176 hits, 21 homers, and 86 RBI. 5th in the MVP voting for the National League. And you don't want to make a definitive statement, but I mean, it looks like he's back. That ball was kissed.
Two 3-run swings for the Nats today. Espinosa's double. 3rd inning, and that Anthony Rendon home run.
And you should have saw Jonathan Lucroy after the ball was hit. I looked straight down, and he and Rob Blake had Drake had a little exchange of words. And that was because he thought that 2-2 pitch outside was a strike. One more pitch, home run.
Well, Knebel not perfect anymore with inherited runners. Swing and a foul tip, and Bryce Harper strikes out. But the Nats have put a 4th spot on the board in the 3rd. 3 more here in the, actually 4 more here in the 5th. So Ramos and Rendon go deep. What a display. his third. The Nats have hit 125 home runs now and a 6-run lead. Jordan Zimmermann is at 94 pitches, so maybe one more frame for him today, but a great time for a shutdown inning to kind of propel the Nats into the late innings here. He'll face Davis, Santana, and Segura. Ball one.
There's a workout class going on in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's giving away free 10-day memberships.
They're jogging around, stretching, doing all kinds of, I mean, everybody. Looks like a CrossFit class going on out there. Is it yoga in the outfield?
Swing and a foul on 2-0. Brewers box score day off to a quick start. Lucroy, first inning homer after a Jeanette single. Since then, the only run, the Jeanette leadoff homer, 5th inning, so Scooter's having a good day. Gene Segura 2 for 2. He'll bat third in this inning. Zimmermann gets it in there. Evens the count, 2-2. Jordan in line for his 10th win, but a ways to go for that. Threw him a slider on 2-2. Challenge fastball. Number 101 gets a fly ball to deep center. Taylor back. Just kind of cruising to it once he got to his spot. And a long first out, 6th inning. For the Achiever and you, PNC Bank with our minor league report. Haven't checked in on Rafael Martin in a while. Had a little success with the Nats early in the season. Out of the bullpen, he's doing a good job for Syracuse right now. 6 saves in his last 10 appearances. 10 on the year, 6'3", 220, Rafael Martin. Domingo Santana. 1 ball, 1 strike.
All right, George.
Yeah, fresh off a face plant. Running the stairs here. That's well inside, and the home plate umpire, Rob Drake, says that grazed Domingo Santana. He's going to first base with 1 out.
I'll definitely get some action going in the Nats bullpen, you'd think.
Just heard the phone ring. Here's Segura, 2 for 2. Felipe Rivero. One now. That's perfect to the outside edge.
Yeah, right where Wilson Ramos was setting up. When you talk about Jordan's last 2 starts, it's more about the person and the stuff he's had. You know, that start against the Dodgers was as good as we've seen him. Now, the last few, he's really just battling out there with, you know, mixing in the off-speed. Fastball command has been kind of buckshot, which is weird for him.
Well, Segura doesn't strike out a lot. 45th time all year right there. 2 outs in the 6th.
A great expo of the release point. And you see, when you talk about throwing downhill, it's a perfect example right there in the expo as you look at the angle of the pitch that's created by the release point.
Oh, goodness. A shot right into the seats. Over the dugout. Looked like it hit a seat and ricocheted. Elian Herrera has struck out, and he was walked intentionally with 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs back in the 4th, and then Jordan took care of business, struck out Matt Garza.
You ever see a guy foul off a fastball like that and then miss one like that? There's no reason to throw him anything else. He's not getting there.
Second time this year, Jordan's been up at 113. 7 innings at Wrigley Field, May 26th. The other time he's done that. So this is the attempted end of his afternoon. You have a pinch hitter on deck in the number 9 spot. Two balls, 2 strikes. This one over, heading foul, left field line. Long way to go for everybody. And Jason Worth, a calculated slide to try to get there.
Really battling for this final out. And you have to give him a lot of credit today. After giving up 2 in the first inning, the home run to Jonathan Lucroy, really kind of fought, tried to kind of stabilize his command with the fastball. The curveball was good today. The slider really not what he's used to having. But I mean, goes without saying, a gutty performance here today by Jordan.
2-2 pitch. That ball hit well to right. Bryce Harper can't get it. Over his glove. Santana will come around third and score. And stopping at second base and rounding the bag too much. Herrera almost picked off on Ryan Zimmerman's relay. So it's a 9-4 game.
I don't think Bryce Harper thought that ball was hit that well. He took a straight across route to that, kind of a flat route, instead of giving with it. And you see the location mistake. Supposed to be away, it was in. Herrera gets to it and see Bryce coming straight across, and then realizing that ball was hit a little bit better than he thought. Didn't take an angle to that baseball, and that's going to be it for Jordan Zimmerman here today. How close was it at second base?
Yeah, just back to the bag. Jordan Zimmerman done for the day. 116 pitches, 79 strikes. Nationals into their bullpen, 9-4 ball game. It's kind of turned out the way we thought it might.
By DC area Toyota dealers to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. Check out a few from Jordan Zimmermann here today. Elevated fastball and a check swing. That turned out to be a pretty big out. Pretty good slider to Jonathan Lucroy. Another one to Ryan Braun. And then a slider to Davis and a fastball up to Matt Garza with the bases loaded after the intentional walk to Herrera. So all in all, a decent day for Jordan Zimmermann. He's staring at a W if the Nats can get some outs.
Felipe Rivero against right-handed hitter Jason Rogers. The 24-year-old left-hander has been busy lately. Seems like he at least warms up almost every day.
Every day, Felipe?
I got it. And it's 0-2 to Rogers.
I mean, stuff-wise, he's got everything you need to be a big league closer. Mid-upper 90s fastball, his slider, just his mentality. He's been very aggressive in the strike zone. Seems like he gets ahead of most hitters. And he gets right-handers out, too.
He went with the 0-2 breaking ball down and in. 27-year outfielder Jason Rogers. 32nd round pick by the Brewers 5 years ago. He's listed at 6'1", 253. .97-mile-an-hour fastball overpowered him, but he got it out of play.
Felipe Rivero just went all Doug Fister on that. Did you see? He was catching that no matter what. Sprinted off the mound, sprinted into foul territory. I got this, Wilson. You just stay right there. Love that. Love to see that in your picture. He's ready.
That was a curveball that got in on his hands.
He just looks like an uncomfortable at bat, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, especially if you're left-handed. But it's because of his delivery. He's got a really quick arm, and on top of having the quick arm, you have 97. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to that fastball right here in a 1-2 count. Pretty good foul ball. That was a tough pitch.
Nissan with the entire at bat. Nothing away really to the right-handed batter. And that's an uncertain swing on a mid-90s seater. Felipe Rivero overmatching a right-handed batter. To the bottom of the sixth now. 9-4 for Washington.
Conversation out in center field right behind second base between innings. And it was a very professional conversation. And you know how I love to lip read. I think Jason was talking to him about umpires' performances. He's had a couple calls go against him today for strike three looking. And generally speaking, Carp, when you're a veteran player and you have a veteran ump to listen to you, if you're just going to sit there and talk to him and just say, hey, you know, there's a couple calls that I thought, yeah, what are you seeing out here? And if, you know, somebody consistently has a floating strike zone as a player, you know, how do you complain about an umpire's performance professionally? And I think that's what that conversation was about, if my lip reading skills are on.
Bottom of the sixth, Ryan Zimmerman against Tyler Thornburg, the third Milwaukee pitcher. And he's making his first appearance of this series. 26 years of age, 5'11", 189. Third rounder 5 years ago. Big breaking ball. Zimmerman hammers it to the left side. Elian Herrera picked it off smoothly. 1 out.
And all hitters rely on a strike zone and a good strike zone, and they'll tell you they want to be consistent, not to change throughout the course of a game, and one pitch in the same spot be a ball and the next one be a strike. There's certain hitters like a Jason Worth or a Bryce Harper that really rely on strike zones, guys that feel like they have such a good grasp of it that whoever's behind the plate on a given day can make or break their day, in a sense that, you know, they know the strike zone. A lot of hitters are good with it. I think Jason Worth, Clint Robinson, Bryce Harper are as good as it gets, swinging at strikes and taking balls and knowing exactly which is which. So those type of hitters really rely on an umpire being consistent on a daily basis.
Swing and a foul tip. And Thornburg gets rid of Ian Desmond in a hurry here in the sixth inning. 2 outs, and Danny Espinosa is next. Espinosa today 1 for 3. Big blow of the game early, the 3-run bases clearing double in that 4-run fourth inning. He took the Nats from a tie game up to 5-2. Oh, for 2, career against the right-hander. Casey Jansen's been throwing out in the bullpen, so possible for him to have the 7th. And the Nats, with all this offense you're looking at, 2-hit day for Bryce Harper and Wilson Ramos. Hits and RBIs and walks up and down the lineup. Nats have had a ton of base runners today. With the day off tomorrow, Matt Williams could play this with his bullpen as a conventional save type of game with Jansen, Storen, and Papelbon. The last 2 guys could use some work. Drew was up last night but didn't come in when the Nats stretched out their lead late. Foul tip, and Thornburg comes in and gets the first 1-2-3 inning by a Milwaukee pitcher today. Into the 7th, Nats by 5.
Using hashtag Nats couch cam or hashtag I'm going on a hike. I'm not seeing a couch there, so I'm not buying that one. That's brought to you by T-Mobile.
I don't know, anything that begins with Semper.
I mean,
maybe one of our ex-Marines there.
But yeah, it's hashtag Nats couch cam, not hashtag trailhead.
Yeah. You go tell the Marine. Top of the 7th, and here's the bullpen all set up, starting with Casey Jansen. Scooter Jeanette's had a good day, 2 for 3, a single, a homer, 2 runs scored. Casey's first appearance in the series, facing Scooter Jeanette for the first time.
I see a Starbucks sponsorship in Casey Jansen's future. Right? Give him a cup of coffee. Sponsored by.
Tagline, he just had one.
Double espresso.
Did he check? He did. Pretty good 1-2 pitch. Off speed, floating up and away. So Jansen's ERA on its way down to 3. He had some rough rides early while he was still getting his 100% health back, and he's been really good over the last month and a half or so. 2-2 pitch. Got in on the hands of the left-hander. BCFP DK here at Nationals Park. The Nats tying their second most extra base hits for the season today with 7. Single game high is 9. And they have put on quite an offensive show in this 9-4 ball game that still has 3 innings to go. Well, hopefully 2.5. Out of play by Scooter Gennett, left side.
Anthony Rendon doing his thing here again today. A couple of walks, a homer. Wilson Ramos with a tater. Base hit and a walk. He's been on base all 3 times. Matt Williams liking the offense.
Makes the managing job a little easier.
Larry leadoff scoring a few runs.
2-2, and the count goes full. Nats had 9 extra base hits in that crazy comeback win at Atlanta. And the 4th time now they've had 7 in a game. 3-2 pitch. Jansen throws a strike, gets a pop-up. Anthony Rendon cruising over to it, and he has it for the first out. 7th inning.
Well, this was in between innings again. Jason Worth and Joe West still having a chat behind second base. And it's just 2 veterans having a talk. They didn't have enough time the first time, so on the way back out, Jason Worth kind of finishing the conversation with Joe West.
Strike to Jonathan Lucroy. Joe West, 35 years in the big leagues. Lucroy hits it well out to center field. The ball was in on his hands. Shows you how strong he is. But Michael A. Taylor there to grab it for the second out with Ryan Braun coming up. Top 7.
Celebrate the end of an amazing summer at the Fitz for the Potomac Nationals' last home games of 2015. Fan Appreciation Week, September 1st through the 7th. Dollar ticket Monday, September 7th. For all your information, go to PotomacNationals.com. I'll tell you what, we just showed Michael Taylor giving the 2-out sign right there. To me, one of the most fascinating stories of the year. His progression and watching him mature as an everyday player from when you go back to April and how he was kind of feeling his way around, I guess is the best way to say it.
It is.
And even just the way he was given the 2-out sign, the confidence, the way his game has just gone from a guy with lots of talent, let's see what he does, to a guy that's put that talent together and now is a legitimate candidate for Rookie of the Year in my mind. Although Gunk for Pittsburgh is really going off recently, and there's some guys having fantastic years, Chris Bryant. But it's been fun to watch. One of my favorite parts of this season is watching Michael Taylor really blossom into an everyday major leaguer.
First pitch swinging, Adam Lind. Left field. Jason Worth can tell Joe West how he just caught that ball. And we're going to the 7th inning stretch. So the bullpen good so far. Rivero and Jansen. So Hyundai on a beautiful day and as much offense as you could want for a summer afternoon. by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals.
And just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite as we head to the 7th inning stretch. And lots of offense to talk about here today at Nats Park. But how about the Buffalo? I mean, this ball was just murdered.
Wow.
And he checked it out for a couple seconds, dug out. Knew it was gone as soon as he hit it. And then Anthony Rendon, second home run in as many days. This one over the bullpen with a smooth, sweet swing of Anthony Rendon. So that's your Miller moments. Couple of taters here.
To the bottom of the 7th. Ramos, Taylor, then the pitcher's spot. And Drew Storen is firing in the bullpen.
Screech partying with all the fans out there. All right. Everybody happy here.
Yeah, nothing like some loud bats to get everybody excited again.
Oh, Teddy, we got to work on that throw. We need some side work. He short arm that.
So here's Wilson Ramos, who's having a perfect day. He was 2 for 4 last night. 2 for 2 today. Base hit, walk. Solo home run, bombed opposite way, almost to the upper deck. Another inning of work for Tyler Thornburg as Ramos faces him for the first time. Got a breaking ball. Bounce it is short. Gene Segura on the move. Took an extra step to be accurate. 1 out.
Follow the Nationals wherever you are. Well, then you'd be a stalker. With MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At-bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCasts, and more. Get MLB.com at-bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Clint Robinson, he will always have happy memories of the Milwaukee Brewers and their ballpark. He's due to pinch hit after Michael A. Taylor goes here in the 7th, and there's Drew, who's been firing for a few minutes.
You know, I was talking to the Brewers broadcasters before the series, and they asked who was swinging it well, and I told them Michael Taylor, and I said I think he deserves some consideration for Rookie of the Year. And they really didn't know a whole lot about him, but they did after the first game. They did after the second game. And talked to him this morning, and they said, hey, you're right. This guy's as good as any rookie we've seen. The only thing is, might get lost in the shuffle when Denard Span comes back. And the numbers obviously aren't going to have a chance. But, yeah, I mean, the way it stands right now, and you look at all the rookie ranks in the National League, he's right up there in a lot of categories. Not to mention the defense he's played in center field. The assist, he leads all rookies with 6.
That's a strike. 3-2. Count like this, pitchers usually go after him with something breaking down and away.
Well, there's 3 game in a row homer streaks on the line right here, so he's got to let it fly. 3-2.
It's in there. Changeup running back to the plate while Michael was running to first. 2 outs. Let's have a look back at Clint Robinson against Matt Garza Thursday, June 11th in Milwaukee.
Waited a long time for this one. And
how about upper deck for your first one? Huh?
Yeah, it wasn't a cheapie at all. It got the silent treatment when he got back to the dugout, and finally, Dan Hugler couldn't resist.
Cool. Tell you put that one together and the one he hit in St. Petersburg, up into the electronics, up in right field. Well, this guy's capable of hitting the ball a long, long way. But as much as anything, we've just been impressed by his approach all year. Great at bats.
He's a big league hitter. There's no doubt about it. And a pretty good big league hitter.
Talked to Randy Knorr about him the other day. You know, Randy was a longtime prospect in the Toronto organization, but they had some really good catchers ahead of him over the years. And Clint was the same way with Kansas City. And Randy said that thing can go one of two ways for you. You can be bitter about it. Oh, I never got my chance, you know, all this. And he said for Clint Robinson to stick with this as long as he did through all those minor league seasons, finally get his chance and make something of it, tells you a lot about the guy. And that is right down the middle. Some guys not seeing Tyler Thornburg, who works 2 scoreless innings, 6 in a row, into the 8th. 9-4 Nats. Not a great day, but solid. Battled back after the guys fell behind early. He took control of the game like we hoped he would. And then the offense kind of took care of the rest.
Offense is cool.
Yeah.
You know, guys got a little sleep, had a tough road trip, came home, rested up. Good job last night, good job today. And this is what you were hoping in this homestand. Just to win series. When you talk about their schedule and how it's kind of eased up or not, I think a lot of people think the Nats need to win every single game. That's not going to happen. Just take series, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. You know, don't worry about what the Mets are doing. You have no control over that. Take care of your own business. And so far they have against the Brewers and trying to hold on here today to take the series.
Well, we are thrilled with what we've seen here at the ballpark today in terms of that offense. 9 runs on 9 hits. And Drew Storen. And even though it's a 5-run game, Jonathan Papelbon might pitch the 9th. Got to get these guys in there and get the competitive fires burning again so they'll be ready in tight game situations. That ball is launched by Chris Davis over the bullpen. We have seen some monster shots in this game, and now it's 9-5 on Drew Storen's first pitch. It's been a struggle for Drew Storen second half of the season. Dan has more.
Bob, Drew told me recently that he feels he's a little mechanically off of late, but also his struggles he feels are a product of the high workload that he's had. And when you're a reliever, it's tough to make adjustments. He said when you're throwing a lot in games, you can't throw before your appearances. You need to be ready for those games. So you try and get a feel in the warm-up pitches, but not a lot of time to make those adjustments when you're a reliever.
And he misses with a fastball low to Domingo Santana. Don't make a mistake to this guy. He could make it 9-6 in an instant. So the Brewers have hit 3 today. The Nats have hit 2. And it's 9-5. That's the good slider from Drew Storen, 1-1.
Well, he's like a finely tuned sports car. He's always tinkering here or there with some different part of his delivery, and he knows it better than most pitchers do. You know, there's a lot of hitters that are field hitters. There's a lot of pitchers that are field pitchers. There's certain hitters that know exactly what's wrong mechanically with their swing. They fix it immediately. Same way with pitchers. Drew's one of those guys that's a thinker and a tinkerer, and he's always trying to fix what's wrong, and he's usually really good at it.
2-1 pitch, and that's a beauty to the outside edge. Two. First appearance of the series. He did warm up once last night. And Santana not even tempted to go after that slider. Some high heat. Mid-90s for the strikeout. 1 down, 8th inning. He needed that.
Yeah, good fastball, 95, jumping out of Drew's hand. Slider was good too earlier in the count. So
next up, Gene Segura, who's 1 for 3 career against Storen, and he's had a 2 for 3 day, a 5 for 11 series here. Might as well utilize that outside edge. It's been a strike from Rob Drake all day.
I just think, based on talking to Drew over the years, just staying over the mound, the rubber, the slab, the longer he hangs over that, the more still his head is, and then he drives his eyes right to the target once he gathers himself and goes. Sometimes he can get out there a little quick, but watch how long he's staying over the mound right there, and then you go from there. And when he's slow there, everything else kind of falls into place. His arm is on time. It's out front. He gets the ball on that downward angle. His command is better. But it's so hard, even at the highest level, things you work on in a controlled environment with no adrenaline, to take them into a game situation in front of 40,000 fans with a game on the line. Whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, that's what separates the really good players from the average players.
This ball hammered down the right field line and slicing out of play.
Some guys will have it every single day in BP. You look at them and they work on things in the cage. They're locked in, and then they get out there and the adrenaline takes over, and they don't carry it into the game on a consistent basis. And the ones that do, they're more successful. It's the driving range to Sunday in a major. That's kind of the analogy.
Yeah. 0-2 to Segura. Mets have a run in the first, but only one at Colorado. Just one run.
Well, they had one getting off the bus today, so might as well put that on the board.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Gene Segura. And Storen goes 95 again. 2 outs here in the 8th. Some high gas against 2 straight hitters.
Well, that's a thank you very much. 95 in his eyes, and that's a tough one to get on top of unless you're Hunter Pence.
First pitch strike to Elian Herrera, the third baseman who has struck out, walked intentionally, and an RBI double. Outfield around to the left. Drew Storen like an I-95 right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, good fastball. I mean, unless he wants to work on his off speed, he really doesn't need anything else today. It's jumping out of his hand.
And the 1-2, that's going to ring him up. A mile per hour faster right there. Jason Worth has been on base 5 times in this series. He'll lead off bottom 8 coming up.
In case you missed, a lot of action here today at Nats Park. 9 runs on 9 hits. Brewers with 5 runs on 10 hits. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Anthony Rendon doing his thing. Another home run here today. A 3-run homer. A couple of walks, a couple of runs. Buffalo getting in on the action. Solo Tater, his 10th. And Danny Espinosa with the big blow. If I had to say the turning point of this ball game, it was Matt Garza's inability to field the Ian Desmond chopper over the mound and shuffle it to first as he was trying. I don't know if he'd have had him, but to me, that's the biggest play of this game in the 3rd inning.
27-year-old right-hander Jeremy Jeffress Big league time. First with Milwaukee, then stops with the Royals, the Blue Jays, and back to the Brewers last year. Jason Worth facing him for the first time. 2 more runs scored by Jason today. He has doubled and walked. He's 1 for 3, and in the series 4 for 12 on base 5 times.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
Catching bugs?
Some big old bug in his line of sight. Two balls, no strikes.
And that was
Jonathan Papelbon for some 9th inning work. Three and 0. Right to the outer half with a 3-0 fastball. And Worth will twirl that bat one extra time. He thought it was ball 4. It goes down to first. We're back with you Tuesday night. Stephen Strasburg, he won his 50th career game Wednesday night at Colorado when he went 7 innings, gave the Rockies 1 unearned run on 2 hits with 5 strikeouts. So he's on his game right now. And career against the Padres, he's 4-1 with a 3.60 ERA. And we will see James Shields for San Diego in game 1 of that series. So he'll be looking for number 10.
Jason Worth on base 3 more times here today.
What leadoff guys do, huh?
Sir Lawrence of leadoff.
Anthony Rendon on 3 times today. 2 walks, a 3-run homer. And he'll hit one to short. Couple of hops to Segura. Scooter Gennett turns the 6-4-3 double play. One more AB for Bryce Harper today.
Let's see the shift they put on right here. Bryce Harper's beat it a few times. And his 3rd at bat, it was by design. You could tell by his swing he was trying to hit it right to shortstop. Now Herrera a little bit more over in that 5.5 hole. He was playing right at 3rd base the last time, or 2 times ago when Bryce was up.
Well, a 2-double opposite field way for Bryce Harper. Starting today in the National League, extra base hits. Todd Frazier 66, Nolan Arenado 65, and Bryce now with 61.
He's got his glove. He's ready for a tater.
Bryce 4 hits, a walk in the series. 1-2 pitch. And he took it where it was pitched, outer half. Target away again. Harper pulling this one to the right side for Scooter Gennett. But the Nats have a great offensive day with 9 runs on 9 hits. 3 outs to get. Jonathan Papelbon coming in for some work. By Land Rover, above and beyond. Kind of describes the offense today. The Nats have piled up 9 runs on 9 hits, 3 outs to get to win their 2nd straight series. And Jonathan Papelbon will get some work here in the top of the 9th inning.
You see the arsenal for Jonathan Papelbon. Hasn't had a whole lot of save opportunities since the trade, but getting some work in here today. And see the numbers. Opponents hitting .233 against the Nats closer.
And pinch hitting will be Shane Peterson, left-handed hitting outfielder for the Brewers.
I mean, you say work. I mean, it's only a 4-run lead. It just feels like it's more because the Nats put up 9 runs today. So getting more than work in. Fastball 91, slider 80, and then split the out pitch at 86. This feels like about a 6 or 7 run lead.
Shane Peterson 0 for 2, actually a 1 for 4 now total in this series. And that pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Peterson, Gennett, and Lucroy. This ball hit to left for Jason Worth. Into the shadows. 1 out, 9th inning. Johnny Holliday, Ray Knight. And they will have a ton of things to talk about on Nats Extra coming up when this one's over. A lot of offense, solid pitching by Jordan Zimmerman, good work by the bullpen. Bottom line is the Nats about to win their 2nd consecutive series. Day off tomorrow, then the Padres and the Marlins in for 6 this week. San Diego going for a sweep today, but they gave up 4 runs in the 1st inning. Scooter Gennett, a 2 for 4 day. He's 1 for 3 career against Jonathan Papelbon. Lucroy after him.
the Padres win today, that would be their first undefeated homestand since 2013. So they're playing good baseball.
Yeah, they're up going into the day a half game behind Arizona for third.
And
although the Diamondbacks did shut out the Reds in Cincinnati.
And they're right behind the Nats in the wild card standings too. So
Taylor right there on a ball that was scorched up the middle.
Scooter Jeanette's a tough out.
Yes. One out to get to make it a good weekend for Washington. Standing in the way, Jonathan Lucroy, who will face Jonathan Papelbon for the first time. Trying to keep Ryan Braun and Adam Lind from batting again. Lucroy, a home run, first inning, a 2-run shot. Put Milwaukee on top 0 for 3 since then.
Today's such a big game for so many different reasons, but you know, you win a series going into an off day that you were supposed to win, it makes your off day so much better. And if you drop today and lose 2 out of 3 of the Brewers going into an off day, now it's panic time. It really would have been.
Fly ball, short right field, Danny Espinosa. And the Nats in just over 3 hours take care of the Milwaukee Brewers and win the series with a 9-5 victory. 19 hits in the game. Worth on base, Espinosa, a big hit, and a big one from Rendon.